Good. Hey, before we get started, special shout out to Reg. He's going to get pissed off about it, but Reg and his staff, Tyler Johnson, Taisha Stewart, they did a great job, and we spent what seemed like a year in Florida. They brought the whole operation down there, and they make the world go round. So thank you to them and all their hard work. And go ahead, Adam, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, when we ask the players about you, their faces usually light up. What's it been like kind of connecting and having that chemistry with them so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I love these guys, right? I spend more time with them than I do my family, unfortunately. We talk about being a family and a tribe mentality, and it's a testament to the guys. They've bought in, they play hard, they play fast. Is it perfect? No, it's not always perfect, but they give their all, and as long as we get that, I think we'll like the results.
Go ahead. Coach, the joke is always, if you can catch, you play receiver. If you can't, you play cornerback.
Yeah.
When you have a guy like Travis who can do everything well, what attributes on the offensive side of the ball can he bring to defense, and what makes him such a great cornerback?
I think his feel for the game is probably the biggest thing. Anytime you're running routes offensively, defensively, where the holes are in zones. I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, Travis is he's a unicorn, right? He's as unique as anybody walking this planet. So it's our job just not to mess him up and let him go play ball. So I'm really glad we have him.
Coach, teams haven't been able to score on you guys in the second half. Is it adjustments? What makes it so tough for the teams to get going in the second half against you guys?
I think it's a testament to our staff. We do a great job at halftime. Those guys come in. Everybody's got an area they work on. George Hilo gets in front of them and talks about the run fits. Kevin Mathis does a great job talking about the pass concepts, and I just stay out of the way. Again, it's a testament to the staff, the men we have here, the players. It's not always different calls. Sometimes it can be. We talked about it before. It seems like halftime is like an hour long, so I don't know what to do with my time. Sometimes it's so long, but it's just a testament to the guys and locking in, and finally, early in the year, kind of saying, hey, look, dudes, enough is enough. We got to go play ball, and I'm really excited to see where we go in the second half of the season. Taylor, go ahead.
Can you just speak to how important not only Cameron Craig is to the secondary, but the whole entire team as well? Yeah,
Cam's a heartbeat. I love that dude. Cam is everything you want from a player. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He speaks, people listen. He follows. So he's our unquestioned leader. Again, we go as Cam goes, and he does a great job setting the tone. And he's everything you want in a player and a person. So super glad we have him and excited for the rest of the year for him.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. The trend is showing you guys will give up yards, but when it gets tight, the red zone, you guys are coming up big. What is it about that red zone that you guys are really having success, especially the last 3 games?
Yeah, I think the rallying cry defensively has always got to be yards don't equal points. So as long as you play great situational defense, so that's third down, that's the red zone, that's 2 minute. It's 2024. These guys get paid too, so they're going to make some plays. So just tighten the screws when you have to. Again, it's a testament to Coach Mathis. He's our red zone master. He's our red zone guru each week, so he does a great job. We put a plan together, and the players go out and execute. So, I can't say enough about, again, the group of men we have both on the 4th floor here as the staff as well as the players. So it makes my job pretty easy.
Matt, go ahead.
When I went back and watched the game, a couple quick ones. When I went back and watched the game, how encouraged were you that you guys were able to contain the quarterback run even more effectively than maybe you had in previous weeks? And maybe was your experience dealing with Lamar kind of play a factor there?
Yeah, a little bit. I think in terms of body type, they're about as different as you could imagine. He was a big man, and Lamar is not a small man by any means. But again, it's a coach speak answer, so I apologize. But the guys were solid on the plan. I thought the defensive ends played really well. It was great to see Arden Walker, Sam have a huge day, and then Tajay obviously with 2 sacks for a young kid. You love that for him. And then we were disruptive on the inside. Again, if we can play that way, if we can dominate, with the front 7, the linebackers playing downhill, I can't say enough about 41 and 20. I mean, the way they played the last 2 weeks has been really, really special. Coach Hart, Coach Hilo has done a great job with those guys. So, if we can play that way, that's what you want. It makes my job pretty easy. So, again, the D-line came to play, and it'll be a new week next week, so we'll see what we get.
As a first-year coordinator, what's your bye-week process going to be like? A lot of guys self-scout. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I did self-scout yesterday. We'll get started on K-State. Obviously, they're a hell of an opponent. I mean, they could have some really, really great players, great scheme. I can't say enough about that staff, their head coach, what he brings. And then be a dad, be a father. I almost choked out there. It would be great to be with the kids and do all that stuff, so that would be exciting.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Just on a similar note, how pleased were you seeing the pass rush get to the quarterback? We talked to Coach Prime last Tuesday, and he said we need to get to the quarterback more. We need to get home more. You saw that against UCF. What did you see against the pass rush?
Yeah, you convince yourself they kind of come in bunches. So that was our bunch game. So it's just the kids, right? I mean, you're talking about a 19-year-old kid in Tajay McCoy, right? His first time really playing this year. He had some he wanted back. I think he missed one in Nebraska. He might have missed one versus North Dakota State. And him just making the plays. And that's why they work so hard. You're only guaranteed 12 opportunities in this thing. So it's a long year to only get 12 shots at it. So I'm excited for those guys. They put in the work, and we'll have a phenomenal test really the rest of the year. You got mobile quarterbacks. They're not standing 7 yards, 8 yards from the line of scrimmage and patting the ball. They're moving around. So it's a testament to the kids, to the staff, and we'll see how the results go down the road.
Scott, go ahead.
Coach Cam told us Saturday after the game that you basically came to Colorado with no playbook and asked the players, the team, like, what do y'all do well, and that's what we're going to do. What have you kind of identified as the strengths of this defense that you try to play into as a play caller?
Yeah, I think, as coaches, too often we make it about us and not about the kids, right? So it's players, not plays. As I talked about, if we can rush that way, if we can control the line of scrimmage, with 4 or 5 guys, it makes the coverage aspect pretty easy. If we're not getting home one week, then we got to bring pressure. So I think each week you want to look at who you're playing, number one, and say, okay, hey, let's make them play left-handed, right? That was kind of the Bill Belichick thing, who's the best that's ever done it. So if you can take something away, I mean, you hear Coach Prime talk about it all the time, hey, take away the first option. If they beat us with the second one, when I get in the truck driving home, I can feel good about it. So, each week it'll look a little bit different, but with the main thing being the main thing, hey, look, let's put our best players in position to be successful and let the chips fall where they may.
Jack, go ahead.
Coach, from your perspective, what aspect of the defense do you feel like has grown the most from maybe preseason until now?
I think it starts with just communication. We're a different outfit. I know we talked about it going into North Dakota State. We got some guys that probably barely knew each other's names when the first game started. So, when you have 4 guys that have rushed together, upwards of 100 times now, you can see them playing off each other, right? When you have a change of strength motion or a jet motion, and you got the back 7 that is pretty much entrenched, you can play off each other and you can get things done. So, communication, open field tackling, that's always critical each week. It's been hot and cold, and then you guys just making the plays that come to them. I think if you look at, as my wife told me, probably the play of the game was the interception. We got to go put the fire out. I mean, shit happens, right? You got to go out there. I think they got the ball at the 25. They got a first down, and Preston made a phenomenal play. And you just make the ones that come to you. Don't try to do too much, and I think we'll all be happy.
Last one, Troy, go ahead.
You mentioned Nakai and Levante. Every time I turn them on, they're always playing downhill. They're super physical. Have you guys coached them to play that way, or is that just who they are?
I think they were born that way. It's our job with guys like that, just get out of the way, right? Let them read their keys and let them play fast, and that's their strength. So we talked about, again, what is their strength? Their strength is they're the enforcers. This is still a physical game, and if they run between the tackles, there got to be a price to pay. So, again, can't say enough about those two working together. Nakai coming in really after the North Dakota State game and bringing a spark to us, and Bentley's Bentley. You love the dude, you love his energy, you love everything he brings. So excited we have him, and excited to see the growth the rest of the year.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.
Thank you.